Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Atri and I make videos related to makeup, skincare, reviews, hauls, etc. So if this is something interests you, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Now without any further ado, let's get started. Now guys, you already can see that I have applied base and makeup almost मैंने किया हुआ है. Only one thing which I'm going to test out in this video is going to be ELF concealers. Although मैंने ELF hydrating concealer के ऊपर video बनाया हुआ है, but one of my subscribers and a dear friend Moni Kuntala, she wanted me to review and do a comparison between these two concealers, that is ELF hydrating concealer and ELF CAMO concealers. So I'm going to review this and I'm going to use Hindi English both because I feel मेरे channel पे दोनों type के viewers हैं. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. So इस सबसे पहले मैं जो करूँगी, otherwise मैंने यहाँ पे कोई product नहीं लगाया हुआ है, but still what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a tissue and जो भी extra product है मेरे eyelids and under eye पे, I'm just going to take them out. Alright, so now that we have removed all the excess makeup from our under eye, I'm going to test these two products. Now let's just see what I am talking about exactly. So I have on one side this ELF 16 hours CAMO concealer. This is how it looks like, and on the other side I will be using this one. This is ELF hydrating concealer. Now these both are CAMO concealers, but one is matte concealer and it says that it is going to be there for 16 hours, and jo dusra hai, that is hydrating concealer, but we don't know the longevity of this particular product. Now if we talk about the packaging, both the packaging is pretty similar. Only thing is that the hydrating concealer has this white cap and the CAMO matte concealer is having this type of black cap, so you might get confused. So please check before buying, because I have seen people buying the wrong concealer. So now one more thing I would like to add, that I got the matte finish concealer when they launched. I think they launched last year, somewhere around November. I think 2020 November they launched, so I got this one at that time. And hydrating concealer launched recently. I have reviewed this separately, but you're going to get this bonus when I'm going to compare these two. So yeah, stay tuned. Guys, packaging wise they both are pretty similar. If I talk about the wand, so this is your CAMO concealer, this is matte finish. And now if I have to show you the hydrating concealer wand, it's again pretty similar, doe foot applicator. Okay, and now talking about the shade, in matte finish concealer I have medium warm, and in hydrating one I have medium sand. So when I was buying matte finish concealer, इसमें तब मेरा shade available नहीं था, so I got this medium warm, and जो अभी वाला है इसमें बहुत सारे shades हैं, so I got these. So now both of these retail for 600 rupees. So pricing wise they both are pretty similar. So I'm going to swatch both the shades on my hand first. So let me just swatch the matte one, that is 16 hours CAMO concealer. So I'm just going to swatch it here and going to show you guys how the shade looks like. Okay, so this is the shade, which clearly is not my shade. So ये जो matte वाला concealer है, I don't have my shade in this one. And now talking about the hydrating one, let me just swatch this also side by side so that you can understand the shade difference. Okay, so ये वाला जो है, this is the hydrating concealer. So can you see the difference? बहुत ही tiny difference है, but definitely difference है. The ELF CAMO 16 hours concealer जो कि ये वाला है, this is more towards golden undertone, while this one is having pink undertone. But hydrating one still suits me because it is of my skin tone only. So yeah, now let's just apply this under my eyes. So I'm going to apply the matte one first. So let me just warn you that this is not my shade. This is a little bit highlighting shade. So please don't write in comments that you are using a wrong shade, because I am telling you myself that this is not my shade. Okay, so because the wand is so big, the amount of concealer you get is pretty much. So this is enough for your one-time use. So clearly this is very light for my skin. Okay, and I also use this. I'm also going to use it over here. So I have used this concealer pretty much. So I must tell you that when you use it on your base as your eyeshadow base, the eyeshadow is going to crinkle a bit, because this is not very good as eyeshadow base, because it is very matte. So you need to blend it also quickly. I generally use a brush, but as you can see, this is pretty light for my skin. So after the brush, I'm going to use a little bit of sponge. This definitely works as my brightening concealer because it has that brightening effect. Now I'm going to use the sponge just to take out any excess, because as you can see, the shade is pretty light for me. Okay, better. So once I have applied, I can notice that it fills in my fine lines. So I have fine lines, definitely everybody has. So it just fills in and makes my under eye very smooth. So I have pretty much normal under eye. So I don't know if you have dry under eye, how this is going to look, but one thing for sure, this is going to dry out your under eyes because it does have the dry consistency, because ये बिल्कुल matte है. So ये थोड़ा सा मुझे obviously थोड़ा सा मुझे dry लगता है. So definitely I would recommend you to use a powder, but I'm not going to use powder right now. We'll use it later on. So now let's try the other one, that is the hydrating concealer. So as the name suggests, it is going to be hydrating. So I'm just going to use it in the same way, and definitely you can see that this shade is much better and much appropriate for my skin tone, because it is not very bright. Okay, so coverage wise, I definitely feel that the matte concealer has more coverage. This is the hydrating concealer. So hydrating concealer creases a bit more on my under eyes, but as you can see, I have applied both of them. So both of them are creasing. So ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि hydrating है तो crease नहीं होगा या ज़्यादा होगा, matte है तो नहीं होगा. Both of them are going to crease as they have creased. Only thing is that after using the sponge, they both have adapted to my skin tone, and जो इसका जो कवरेज है वो मैट वाले का थोड़ा सा ज्यादा है, प्लस क्योंकि ये थोड़ा सा लाइट स्किन टोन, मतलब लाइट कलर का भी था, बट स्टिल आई फील दैट द कवरेज ऑफ द मैट वन इज बेटर देन द हाइड्रेटिंग वन. हाइड्रेटिंग वन इज रियली गुड इफ यू हैव रियली ड्राई अंडर आईज. So this is giving me a more natural finish. This is giving me a more airbrushed, or I can say full coverage type of finish. So if you are someone who is having a lot of spots on your face or having crazy under eyes, please get your shade in the matte one, because it has greater coverage. So yeah, now I can say that you can't use them as eye base, especially this one, especially the hydrating one, because the hydrating one tends to go away a little faster. Although I'm going to show you which is going to stay on my eyes more. So let's just powder both of them a bit. Now you can see that both have started to crease. Of course, these are concealer. These are going to crease on your under eyes. So this just gives you a very powdery type of finish. जो matte वाला है, hydrating one looks very natural. For powder, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild powder, and I'm going to use my sponge only. And I'm just going to dip the sponge in the powder and apply this. Okay, definitely when you use powder, the hydrating one looks beautiful on your skin because it is not very dry, but the matte one, it is already dry, so it looks a little bit more drying. That's the only thing. This is how it looks like. Now if you ask my personal favorite, so my personal favorite has to be the hydrating one. Why? Because it is more of everyday type of use. So अगर आपको concealer चाहिए everyday type में use करने में, you can use it because it has a little bit of coverage and काफी अच्छी coverage है, but matte one से थोड़ी सी कम है, and it is hydrating also. So now I'm going to give you a check-in after a few hours and we will see how it looks like. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll see you. Alright guys, so it's been 2 hours and in fact, my under eyes are looking so good and I can't spot any difference. The matte side is also very nice and the hydrating side is also very good. Only thing I can feel is that the matte side is a little bit drying. But if you ask me, I like the matte side as well. And of course, both the sides are creasing. Isn't any mattes behind that. लेकिन हाँ, I definitely love both the sides, and I feel the formulation of these two concealers are so good. So even if you are buying the matte one, you will not regret it. Both are very good, like on their places. But if you are someone who has dry under eyes, then you can try out the hydrating one. And if you want very top notch quality ka under eye, then you go for matte one. Okay guys, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon, like this video. We'll see you guys in my next video. You guys take care. Bye.